excited to show you guys an end-to-end working software for literally the future of internet, media, and commerce. So over to you, Naveen.
Yeah, thanks, Amit. Let me see if I can start. Hey guys, for those who don't know me, my name is Naveen Kunapredi. I'm actually heading product at Shoptype. Come from a little bit of an entrepreneurial background, and through the process got involved with Shoptype, and here we are. We're building a beautiful product. We'll take you through. We'll run you through a demo. We'll run you through a demo with one use case, and then last night we also actually set up an extensive use case that did a lot of other calculations and stuff. We have that in place, and then we could go through both of those use cases and understand how the attributions and how all the calculations are being done. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Yeah, you guys are able to see my screen?
I only see the wallpaper. Maybe it's an external screen.
Oh, just one. All right, you see a Shoptype. You guys seeing Shoptype screen, right? All right. So before we dive into Shoptype, right, I wanted to quickly go through a couple of examples that today who seem to be doing this business fairly well. In recent years, what's happened is brands and marketeers behind these brands have really become savvy to the fact that consumers crave content. What this brought about is like a fundamental behavior change, where these companies are now able to afford to go from being an advertiser to being actually a publisher. Advertising, just shoving ads on people's faces has become boring. It's become old. People have stopped clicking on it. But now this whole new generation of being publishers, being part of a media, producing inspiring content that actually people consume and get inspired. And then as they are consuming this content, as they are getting inspired, there's a lot of, usually all this content revolves around some product or the other. And then, people insert those products and tell good stories around it. And people say, hey, it's worth trying the product, and let me go and buy it. So that fundamental behavior change is what we're seeing in the market. I mean, marketers are loving this. They're able to produce tons of content, and that's the popularity of all these social media platforms. And one extension to that is, pretty much unicorns like Goop or Into Gloss. I mean, these are billion-dollar brands that really are doing this very well. So I just want to quickly take you through a couple of examples that are that do this pretty well. When I say this, it's the marriage between media and e-commerce pretty well, right? One really famous example, very famous actress is behind this, is Goop, obviously. So yeah, this looks less like a e-commerce store, but more of beauty and a blogging kind of a store. Let's take a article, for example, right? Let me click on an article, and let me click on this. So today, as part of the demo, I have an aromatherapy theme going on. So I figured I'll keep the theme even for the examples. So this is an article written by this girl called Megan. She's just starting off. But as you can see, she writes about using the article, using essential oils and how it has helped her and thing. But and then he or she, they place products in between that people can easily, as they're reading, as they're consuming this content, they can actually quick and easily go and actually buy this product, right? I mean, that's the process here. A very similar brand, this is Glossier, and their blog is what's called Into the Gloss. They do something very similar, right? They it's a bunch of influencers, bunch of people. Not normal. I mean, they don't have to be very big influencers. They're just normal day-to-day people who actually write about products that they love or they use every day. And then as they write about it, as they're sharing their stories, they are, they insert links and able to actually go in and where people can actually go in and buy these products. So these two brands have done this pretty well. And then what our Shoptype, now getting into Shoptype is an aggregation, is a platform where we're able to effectively marry these two mediums, right? The e-commerce and media very well, but also go one step further, right? So here it's just a simple shop. There's no attribution to these. There's no intelligence behind this particular product card. So what we've done is we've added that intelligence in actually making sure people are able to come here, and as they get inspired, they can either buy the product, go about their way, or we have an option called co-selling, where they actually quickly can sign up and become co-sellers and actually sell the product, right? I mean, if it's so inspiring, they can share the product on their networks, and all this comes with a unique link. And when people buy it, they become part of that part of the chain, and it's something that they like using and they don't mind. I mean, they actually they make a little bit of money if other people buy it. It works out for everybody. So on that note, let me dive into actually how we are doing this process, right? So for us, the journey starts with the e-commerce catalog, and that e-commerce catalog can be anywhere, right? Any e-commerce engine today, Shopify, BigCommerce, we have our own shop. Awake has got our own e-commerce engine we're working on called ShopHerd, or WooCommerce. Any of this is integrated. They're all easily integrated with Shoptype. For today's example, I've taken Shopify as a use case. So this is a company actually we work very closely with, Adorotherapy. This is a test site that we set up. We pulled in their products onto Shopify and set up Shopify. So this is a typical merchant side of things. You know how a merchant on Shopify would see their product set up, and this is how they do business. They sell, and then they go to orders, and they're able to fulfill an order when actually a sale happens. The orders get populated here, and they click on it and they actually fulfill it, right? That's the business today. What we now Shoptype becomes an additional channel for them. Let me just log out. So when a brand is ready to come on to Shoptype, they basically come on and then go through the sign up process. We have various ways of signing up. You could do Facebook, Google Plus. We have our own authentication layer called awake.me. This is a single sign-on authentication layer across all of Awake's products. It's pretty cool. A lot of stuff's coming up there. But yeah, sorry, I accidentally closed that. But yeah, so they have multiple options to either sign in, sign up. So we've created a brand called SD Organics. We'll sign up using that brand. So this is one of the first things the brand do as they sign up. They're able to pull in the products, right? So this is the interface that we give the brands. Right now we are connected to WooCommerce. We're connected to Shopify. We have Block Parties, another system we're connected to. We can create products manually. We can create events. We can create digital products. Pretty much any of these SKUs. Essentially, it's basically at the bottom line. It's a SKU can be created on Shoptype. In this case, we will import from Shopify. The imports are a very simple process. It's just we give the store name, and each Shopify account we can set up an API key and password on the Shopify side. That's something the merchant. It's a two-step setup on Shopify side, and then Shopify gives them the API key and password, and then they come into Shoptype and add that and say link. As soon as they link, what happens is all their products get linked. And this is essentially a mirror copy, at least from a catalog standpoint, this is essentially a mirror copy of what we've seen on Shopify site. And this applies to any e-commerce engine today, right? BigCommerce. So once they're here, usually all these products on Shopify, or if you go to any Shopify website, they're just just products that they open up, and they have minimal information. It's just they just have a few images and then a title and stuff like that. So one of the first things we do, the value we provide is ability for these brands to really expand upon that view, so they can add a lot of other details, including, like, if you I go into the details part, but you can add videos, you can add images, you can add testimonials, video testimonials from influencers. So there's a lot of other stuff that you can really add to really spruce up how the product would look like when finally a buyer clicks on it and wants to check out the product, right? So that's one of the first things they do. They go about setting up their product, making it nice, look nice and pretty. And once that's done, they, as a brand, they would go and they'd set up attribution. Attribution is actually the tracking layer for each one of these SKUs, right? Each of these SKUs are
checkout flow once, no, before we go to attribution.
I just want to mention that. So attribution is a tracking layer. So before I go into attribution and show, let me just quickly go through what a normal flow would look like for a brand, right? So after each of these products, let's pick this product up, and then after they finish setting up, when they click on publish, now what happens is we give multiple ways for a brand to share this product onto any platform, right? One is they can just do a manual copy. Just click on copy and share it. I mean, when they post it onto their LinkedIn or their WhatsApp chat or any of their text messages. So there's intelligence built in where it does a nice preview. It becomes like a nice product card. And then, when it's shared, it's a clickable product card where people can actually get to this product. Then we have what we call tight integrations with social media platforms. Right now, we have about 3. We have many more coming. We have Instagram coming, TikTok, and a bunch of other social media platforms where people are talking about products and people are talking about inspiring stories around the products happen, and then they can purchase it there. So let's if you take Facebook for example, right? So these are all just one click. You just click on that, and now it makes it a nice product card, and you say post it on Facebook. It becomes part of your it becomes part of your feed. And then let's say you're an influential, you're a blogger, you have a huge network of people following you on Facebook, or you're part of a group that that talks about aromatherapy or essential oils, and you would like to post something there. I was thinking, we can do it a lot of different ways. But then when you click on it, it takes you to the product detail page where you get the details of it, and then you can go through a buy and share. I'll go through these two processes in a minute. So that's how the social media integrations work. And then the third part is what we call get and embed. So this is the part where we are able to very smoothly or synchronous, very easily integrate product cards into media, right? It could be any media, blogs, websites, any place where people are writing about content, where talking about, telling their story, talking about products, and they can insert a relevant product card there. And then as people are consuming that story, people would, also discover the product and then go about either buying it or, co-selling it as another option we just spoke about. So how that happens is once you click on embed, it just gives you a small HTML code where you just copy, and then pretty much every blog or any website has a backend where you're able to go publish whatever content you're publishing. So we've tied up with this awesome company called Shoptype. We do all our publishing through them. So let's say this is their backend, and all we do is just click on the plus button, click on embed, and then just copy and paste that code. And then as soon as you copy it, it brings about the product card. I already did this here, but it brings about the product card. You can just go about saving it and publishing it. So the way it would look like is after you save and publish, So yeah, so this is Spiritful. This is one of our market networks. I mean, very similar to Goop or Into Gloss or whatever we've seen. Let's say, I just created a test blog. This blog is talking about aromatherapy. I for some reason enjoy really the essence of essential oils and how they help increase your mood, how they help you, in general well-being, right? And I'm writing about it, and I feel it's a good place to insert my product and or my product or an influencer product or anything. And in this case, we put in this beautiful aromatherapy product that we're talking about essential oils. It's very and close to what we're talking. As people are consuming this, now they can go about and go ahead and shop or buy. So let's say when they click on the product, right, they are taken to this detail page, the product detail page. From here, they can execute one of two things, right? One, they can actually typically just go buy the product if they like what they're seeing inspires them enough to go buy the product. Or in some cases, they might think, maybe my mom or my spouse or my brother would like this, right? I would like to share it with them, or maybe I'm an influencer. I have this blog I'm writing. I would like to pick it up and put it in my blog, and I have thousands of people following me. It's a great place to insert. Tomorrow, I'm planning on writing a blog. I'll write the content around it, and I'll start adding these products in. So we give them a couple of options. We give them a normal share option where, just like any e-commerce website today, you can go and click on share and, it's just a normal share without any attribution intelligence built into it. Or we say, hey, just do a one-click sign up, become a co-seller. And then when you share, you just essentially it becomes yours, and then as soon as the link becomes yours, you just you basically are able to make that link yours, and when somebody buys, you become part of that attribution chain. So that's one way of doing it. This is what we call the co-seller model, and it's a quick one-click sign up. They just enter their email, password, and then immediately this entire product becomes unique it generates a link that's unique to them and makes it their own, right? That's one way of doing it. The other way, I'll quickly also walk you through a quick checkout process that if people are just interested, eventually, after a bunch of shares or after a bunch of co-selling that happens, someone eventually will find it interesting to buy it enough, so they would click on the buy button. And let's quickly run through a checkout process, right? And then we can see how the order gets placed and all that good stuff. So it calculates the shipping for this. It gives you a couple of options. You can standard or expedite your shipping method. And then once you finish it, okay. So that's the order that got placed, and now eventually somebody bought it. So now let's just quickly go back to our start of the flow, right? And now we go back to Shopify and go to orders. So from a merchant standpoint, this is business as usual, right? So just like how they would have gotten an order from another source, they just received in. So essentially, Shoptype becomes another sales channel. It just order gets injected into their usual order process. They come and see, okay, today Naveen bought this product, they click on it, and they go about fulfilling it. So we're not changing, I mean, the idea behind it is we're not changing any of their existing business behavior, right? It's the same, they just go about doing the same things. But the value add we give is we just give them orders. I mean, it's directly they open their inbox and they open their orders page, and you have orders flowing in, and they continue shipping it out. And now let's quickly take a look at what happens on Shoptype side, right? So now as a brand, they've logged in, and let me just, before I go into attribution. So this is the order we just placed, and it shows you all the attribution and everything that happened on this order. So this is essentially what's happening here is so this is the bigger order that was placed yesterday with multiple levels, multiple payments and adjustments in that, right? So before I go into how we calculating this commission structures, how we are getting the adjustments, I'll just quickly show you what happens at the setup. I know this page is a little busy, but we are looking at a very cool UI. Somehow we could make it much more intuitive for the brands, and obviously we also will work with the brands and helping them set it up, right? So when a brand comes initially on board, one of the first things they do is they set up what we call a network commission. So network commission is since Shoptype is taking over all the sales and marketing efforts, we're just pretty much order injecting. We're telling them, hey, what is that you would allow the network to earn if somebody sells your product? Okay, so in this case, let's say this brand decided about 30% as network commission, right? So in that 30%, we set aside something called a minimum network. This is minimum network. This is if there's an operator involved. Like in this case, let's say Spiritful is an operator, and they belong to this network. So we give them a minimum network. Shoptype takes a little bit of a cut from that commission. And then what we call effective network commission is what is available in the pool for people to share as and when they help make that sale happen. So in this case, 30% was set aside. Minimum network commission was 6%. We have a standard charge for Shoptype, and essentially 20% is what is available for the network to share as they help make the sale. And then we can dive into the details of how you want to make that payout, right? How you want to motivate people to help make this sale. So the first level we can set up is what we call introduction payout. So this is a payout. We're saying anybody who introduces Shoptype or is able to bring folks onto Shoptype or is able to help
onto the network, right, Naveen? Onto
the network, yeah.
So like Spiritful in this case.
Yeah, on Spiritful, yeah. So anybody who introduces the person to the network is when the first network is the first payout, right? So we're saying 20% of this effective network commission, we'll give it to him. That's his or her reward for bringing more folks into this awesome network we're building, right? And then we can what we call nudge.
Means that it applies indefinitely. This payout would happen permanently whenever the person bought.
That's right. Yeah. So there's a time component associated with each of these levels. For introduction, we keep it infinite because that's a reward that is helping people get folks onto the network. Then we have a middle tier, what we call nudge levels. These are levels where we're saying, we're splitting a commission percentage of 15%, 15%, and we've set up expiry time. This is when a buyer clicks, and let's say I'm one of this. I'm an influencer. I put out a link there, and a buyer comes and clicks it, and then does not buy it, right? But if that click happens to be in 48 hours, then we give the nudge commission for it. right? And if it is outside it, then we give them the second nudge level. Usually there's a difference in these things, usually they set up like 10%, the longer the time period. So the idea is have people get motivated enough and go through a sale process as fast as possible. Right?
So you mentioned that do they get that? They only get that commission if someone actually makes a purchase, correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Within 48 hours.
48 hours. Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So those are what we call the nudge levels. And then final level, what we have is the level X. This is what, this is the last mile seller, right? This is the MVP of, this is essentially the sales guy. So he gets the biggest percentage cut. This is the guy who actually helped make that final purchase happen. So let's say I'm an influencer. I put out a link, and a couple of buyers have clicked it, but they haven't bought it, but they are within this expiry time. And finally, Amit sees my link and says, "Hey, this is interesting. Let me pick it up and post it on my blog." He's writing an essential blog, and somebody finally from that blog buys that product, right? So Amit, essentially in this case, the level X is a person who finally influenced the sale. In that case, the level X gets 30%, and then the brand has flexibility to set up an expiry time. So that is
last level. We would recommend like 1 or 2 hours, right?
Yeah, usually a shorter time to encourage people to have
be effective. Yeah.
So then, so there essentially to this phase there are 3 pieces, right? One is setting attribution percentages, where we're setting up and coming to the calculation of effective network commission. Second is how we are planning on distributing or paying out that effective network commission based on the buyer's behavior. This is where we're able to understand the buyer's behavior in a very granular level, right? We're able to understand every click he or she is doing, on which platform they're clicking, what platforms they're publishing onto, and all that good stuff is what's happening at the commission level. So then we have a third piece to this product, what we call, the third piece to this page, what we call network adjustments, right? So network adjustments is usually, let's start with the share part, right? The share is, as I showed you, you can when you click on shop now and you click on the share button, that's when you become a co-seller. So that share, let's say if there are 3 or 4 people who've gone through that process, they will be able to get that 20% of that adjustment. So we have different adjustments that can happen. We have this is the invite adjustments, right? So this is, let's say I'm a brand, I set up this company and I work with, let's say 10 influencers, right? So then if I go to my product page.
So just the thing here is the difference between the network adjustments and the network commission splits is that the splits are happening transactionally, and those people will be determined based on the actual sale, whereas the network adjustments are known beforehand. In other words, it already knows who you're going to share with once the commissions are accrued.
Yeah, that's correct, Amit. Yeah.
It's the MLM
so in this
part
case,
except that we don't do the MLM part. We don't operate as an MLM, but it is a place where you can adjust the fact that people are being introduced to the network by other people, or there's also shares going on, not just clicks and purchases and influence. There is a trail of people that actually came behind that influence as well. So it lets you adjust it.
That's right. Yeah. So in this, what we mean by the adjustments are pre-known. So let's say ST Organics is a brand, and I work, and as this brand works with 10 influencers. So what they can do is they can go ahead and start inviting all 10 influencers, right? And each of these influencers will accept the invite and become part of this network of ST Organ. I mean, they become part of that invite chain. So now, if I go back to attribution, when a sale happens, and if that sale routes through one of these influencers, they get their share of adjustment. So this is different from the commission, as Amit explained. Commissions are all buyer driven, right? They're all real-time transactional events. The adjustments are what happens from a business process, right? From a business process standpoint, I'm a brand. I'm inviting 20 people as 20 influencers, and they all become part of the influencer share. The referrer is, I'm a brand, I want to refer another brand, right? And the other brand comes in, sets up shop on Shoptype, and they're able to sell because of my ability to refer this brand, and that brand successfully setting up shop on Shoptype and selling. I'm able to make certain percentage. Right now, I just put it.
Typically, this number will be like 5% or 3%.
Yeah.
So, yeah, not 20. That's confusing. So probably want to make it lower.
Sure. Yeah. I just set it up also. So. And these are small numbers, right? Partner also is very similar. So this is I'm a brand. I'm working with a marketing agency, or I want to partner with another brand. You invite them. When the other brand comes and when sales happen, they become part of the chain, and usually partners their share is 4 or 5% or whatever. This is all
anything, I guess. Partner could be like three people or 2 people, or somebody starts a network, and every time there is an accrual, you want to split that into your partners. Right. So that's all that is. So it allows the complete network to be set up here. That will then drive the calculations. Right. So now, if you want, we can switch back to that order page, and then you can.
Yeah. So now that we understood the commission structure, right? So let me go through the order level. So this is very similar. I mean, it just basically reflects the attribution structure. So in this case, we have introduction. We have introduction payout, and that's Amit. Amit introduced us to somebody to the product, and he gets his commission. We have a couple of nudge levels that were set up, level 1 and level 2. In this case, it was Rahul and Tiwari, and then they because of them helping make that sale, they get their commissions, right? And then level X is the final last mile seller. In this case, Karan, he's the last mile seller. He helped make that sale, and based on the commission percentages, they get their commission percentages. Once these commission percentages are calculated, then we understand in that chain who are all the adjustments that need to be made, right? As we discussed, the adjustments are already predetermined. So in this case, there are a couple of adjustments that were set up. We have the invite adjustments. So there were 3 or 4 people that were invited. So, that's the adjustment amount. And then we have a share amount. We have a few people that have shared the product, and that's the share. It's a little too many decimals here, but it's essentially about $2.50 here. So that's the share adjustment that goes to it. So this is from a brand standpoint, understanding for every order and product, how that product essentially flowed across the media, and then how people actually made purchases, and whoever helped make that purchase, rewarding them with the commission structure and also the adjustments. That's the view that we're able to see.
The influencer, we will be adding the details about where this influencing happened, right? Like, where did Rahul influence level 1?
Yes. Yeah. So if you go to the dashboard, right? Right now, this is from a brand standpoint. But I'll log into an influencer and also show you. But I think from a brand standpoint, we have some statistics that we're sharing today, some metrics we're sharing today. We have the total revenue. Obviously, we have 2 orders here, 2 items sold. We understand the clicks and the publishes, right? So the way we've architected this whole, it's essentially a node-based architecture. So we're able to capture details at a very granular level, right? We're able to understand every click that happens on every platform. So this click can further be drilled down into saying how many of these clicks happened on Facebook, how many of these clicks happened on Instagram, and then how many of these publishes, where were they? Were they published onto a manual, where they published manually, or were they published on Facebook, or were they put as an embed on a blog? So all those details we're able to capture right now. We're not on
the platform. We also tell you whose Facebook feed it was on, right? Not just that it was on Facebook, but also that it was Naveen's Facebook, and it was Brian's Facebook feed, and it was actually shared from Mike's, right? So all this stuff is being tracked.
That's right, yeah.
So basically, when we talk about unification protocols, what it means is we don't see Facebook, the platform, as a platform. We see it as a collection of people who have Facebook profiles who are sharing it, and we simply aggregate those people back. That means that we re-aggregate Facebook through the people. And so the platform does not play into it. We directly are able to pay the individuals.
Yep. Yeah, so that's a little bit of overview on the brand side. Let me just quickly log in as a so now, as you can see, as we had different influencers in that. Let me log in as
one quick thing: we're renaming brand to network operator, and we're renaming influencer to co-sellers. So you'll not see this, influencer terminology will be used in the wild, but internally we are going to focus everybody as a co-seller. It's a new breed of digital native people.
Yeah. So again, now I logged in as an influencer. This is the influencer side of things. So now we'll start seeing influencer related commission structures, right? How much commissions they earn, what clicks, who clicked, what clicked. Like we said, I mean, we're able to understand not only what platform the clicks happened, also who was involved, the actual name behind it, and then the publishers, right? All the stores that how many publishers happen and things. So there's a lot more metrics we're capturing. We're in the process of exposing it correctly, so people make sense of this dashboard. Now, yeah. So if I go into the product, go into the commissions, you can see it's basically, since this is the influencer view, you would see it's what we've seen on the brand side, but only relating to that influencer, right? Like now Amit logged in and he's able to see in that introduction payout, Amit was part of it, and this is the commission earned. And then Amit was also part of the share adjustment. So what that means is that someone shared or became a co-seller from Amit's product card. And then since the sale has happened, Amit has also gotten that share kind of adjustment. So that's the full commission that we're showing. So as an influencer, you log in, you understand what products or what have been sold and how much commissions you made, and so the next part of this is, right now we're working on the payout process, right? So the payout is the next piece to it. Now we understand the order details. We understand how that order, what revenue the brand made, what commission structures each of these influencers or everybody that's involved in that sale made. Now we connect all this to a proper payout mechanism and automatically start paying out people based on a certain business. And we'll obviously have some rules around return periods and because we can't pay it out, and then if a return happens, then we can't claw it back. So we'll set up some rules in our agreements where we say 30 days is the return period. After 30 days, we reconcile and automatically start paying the influencers their commission structures. Or pay, when I use the word pay, actually as part of the Awake ecosystem, we have something called Awake Cash. So that's basically a complete cash side of these things, right? That's where we actually create a wallet, a digital wallet. All of this money accrues as Awake Cash. And as part of Awake Cash, now each of these individuals have an option. One, just translate it, pull it out, turn it into real dollars. That's an option. Two, use the Awake Cash on the Awake ecosystem, right? I mean, we have several.
Let me clarify here. So there are two things. One is Awake Money, which is just a wallet, and it's regular fiat money. It's regular dollars, right? So here $3.50 or whatever the numbers are, they all get accrued in the wallet, and it's already dollars. There's nothing to convert. It's just regular fiat. Like if you're pushing products in India, you'll get rupees. If you're pushing product in Australia or UK, you'll get different currencies. So it's regular currencies that the buyer is paying and the seller is accepting. Apart from that, Awake Cash is a separate reward / crypto that will come as something that can be used alongside these regular currencies that will allow other exciting smart money use cases. So that's the crypto side, and you can swap in and out. But regular fiat will continue to be regular fiat. It doesn't change, like PayPal, right? That wallet is just a regular wallet. You connect a regular bank account to it, and then once you accrue, enough, you would just, maybe swipe it out and take it out, or literally, in our network, you can use the dollars to make purchases. So you can, literally, as you're accruing all this, you might go buy something else, and it's free to use those dollars. There's no charge even to the brand. There's no payment charge on these things. It's all free when you use our internal system to make payments. So those 3-4% charges that payment people charge is all gone. It's international, by the way. So, and when that happens, we can issue away cash as a reward token. So you're also paying people to make purchases, and then they can use that down the line to make, split payments. So that's all coming. But this is the actual commerce and the accrual and the attribution side that we're showing you guys today.